I'm excited to share with you a video that will explain and show the dramatic effort we did to get a 150-foot flagpole up on top of Bruin Point, right up the hill from Sunnyside, Utah, which is a few miles away from Price, Utah. It's a fantastic project, a lot of challenges, many visits, and we're able to show in this video the actual fabrication of the steel, the powder coating process that we undertook, getting it to the mountain, getting it up the top of the mountain. Very steep grades, so we had to have help from, for example, a road grader to pull the cement trucks up and to pull the crane and our trailers up there. So quite a project, and you'll see the coordination up on top of the mountain, addressing all the safety concerns, and also interaction with the owner there, make sure that their crew is happy and everything goes smoothly. So we're excited to show you this, and so enjoy it.
Today we've got a 20-inch diameter by 33-foot long flagpole, the base of it, and it is a half-inch diameter. So what we've done today is we bring in 2 of our forklifts, get it set up, and we'll take and we'll run it in this end of the wheelabrator. What this is a big commercial style sandblaster, to where it makes it a little bit easier for our guys to handle instead of doing just hand blasting. So what we have here is, this is the entrance into the big wheelabrator. We'll take the product going in on this side, the steel piece, and it will run through the center, and there's a bunch of rollers in there that automatically drags that big steel pipe through. It'll take anywhere from about 15 minutes to 45 minutes to get through the whole wheelabrator, depending on the severity of our the rust thickness and stuff. If it's too heavy, what we'll do is we'll bring it back around and we'll send it through a second time. This is the semi-finished product. What we'll do is, on this one, we'll send it through a second time, because you can see that it's got a little bit of a rust sheen to it still, and we want it to be just a clear metal finish on it before we ever take it into the powder coating side. And this will go through a second time. This one's taken us about 30 minutes to get through. The second run will take about 15 to 20, and then we'll be ready to prime it and powder coat it.
No project's too big or too small. This is a wet primered cart. Right now the primer is wet, it's ready to go in the oven. Once it comes out after being baked in the oven for 20 minutes, it comes out and starts looking like this one. This is applied zinc primer to the pole to give it extra protection for outdoor elements, rain, sleet, snow, hail. And then after it goes from that, it'll go right back into the booth over here and get the top coat for the color shot.
The process of what we like to do is we like to start from the very end and work one way, highest to lowest, so that way the hose doesn't get in the way of anything you're coating. I like to do straight passes all the way through, and then after, before we pull it out, I like to give it a nice dust coat, and that just kind of makes it all blend together super well. This is going to look super good once it's all put together. I'm excited to see it up.
We're on day 2 of a 3-day project here, and it's like in Maverick Top Gun. There's 3 miracles to get them back safely. The first miracle is actually getting 15,000 pounds worth of steel down to Price, down to Sunnyside, and up the mountain here. So they got to the bottom of the hill there, and we switched trucks to the people that actually work up here every day. They're familiar with the road, and they had a lead of a road grader, which actually they chained to and helped pull the truck up, and so that took about an hour, 20 minutes to get that to the top of the hill. Once that trailer pulled in here, then the challenge was trying to get the bottom section off. The bottom section weighs just under 6,000 pounds. It's 35 feet long. Here there's a cliff just to the west of where we have to put this up. This is only about 60 feet wide, maybe 70 feet wide. We have to have room for the crane to get in, and we had to adjust the trajectory of the bottom section so that it would not go off the edge when we got to the far end. You didn't want to get the pole all welded and be trying to suspend yourself in the air to weld. So once we established that it was going to work well, we had to leave enough room on the other end for equipment and the crane to get past it. So it was juggling between the edge of the cliff and juggling between space for the crane to get through.
What we're doing is putting this pole together. What we do first is get it off the trailer, we strap it, make sure it's center of the pole, pick it up, we make sure it's going in nice and smoothly. Once it's in, we put our stands right underneath the pole, make sure it's level up and down, make sure it's straight side to side, and then just make sure everything's going smooth, nice and smooth.
So first off, we obviously align it. We get it all square and plumb and level, and then we'll run our first bead down, a root pass, and then what we'll do is we'll run a second pass, and then we'll top it off with a third pass. These here are plug welds. There's a ring inside. I don't know if you can see up top here, but there's a ring up in there. We weld to that ring and weld to the pole, so that attaches this upper section to the lower section. Just gives it a little bit more strength.
All right, so our welder finished this. Once he's done welding our joints, we go and mask this so we can go ahead and paint over it. Make sure these spots, these pockets, this weld is nicely painted. And then we help him by turning the pole at the end with the wrench. But yeah, this is what we just do to paint the welds that he just welded for us.
All right, we're on June 12th here. We're getting ready to stand a 150-foot pole. Now we're set. We got a track hoe in place here to lift up the bottom of it. There's a crane right here that we're ready to do. Hook up now in a minute. So right now, the track hoe's going to hook onto the bottom of it with a strap. So as we start to lift up, and we'll explain that later, it takes the load of the pole off this bottom rack, because that bottom rack will get smashed. That has a 6,000 pound load threshold, and so he'll lift up the bottom as we go up, then he'll slowly lower his in. Well, thank you for joining us for this short video, and it gives you a tour of one of our operations. There's not a lot of companies in the country that do what we do, and not very many at all that would take on a challenge of putting a 150-foot flagpole on top of an 11,000-foot mountain. And so with all those challenges, everybody, the main thing for me is came back safely. No one got hurt at all, and now we have a beautiful flagpole. And I just want to let you know that this gentleman who ordered this for Range Valley Ranch does this as a place for veterans to come, raise the flag before they start a week of activities up there. Many of them are veterans that struggle with post-traumatic stress and other injuries, and then they have their week of shooting and hunting And then at the end of their week, they go and have a flag retirement ceremony where they respectfully lower the flag. So I love jobs like this where it touches a lot of lives, especially those that gave the most to preserve our freedoms and what the flag symbolizes. So thank you.